So now it's down to 3. One of you will not be going on to the final. The band that received the most votes to continue to the final is the Beach Bears!
We were in the finals, and word was that we were the shoo-in to win it all. I felt great. Better than I had in weeks. I saw Dips head for the wings once the second band, Dog, was announced, and the ending credits started rolling. He looked exhausted. Star and I spoke with both Laugh Attack and Dog, giving our condolences to one and our congratulations to the other. Then I went to find Dips. He was asleep, lying on a row of chairs by the green room. But he was not alone. Grizz was there. He had managed to get onto the set and was gently stroking Dip's shoulder.
Get your filthy hands off him!
Hey, I'm not doing anything you wouldn't do.
Why, you son of a...
Birch, is there a problem here?
No problem. Grizz was just leaving. Weren't you, Grizz?
Yeah, I was just leaving. I wouldn't dream of spoiling your private celebration.
What the hell did you mean by that?
Let him go, Birch.
Quit lying to yourself. Just be who you really are. You're good at that.
I picked up Dips in my arms, trembling strongly. He never woke up.
I'll carry him, Birch. You get the car.
I handed Dips to Star, nodding. I was still shaking. I managed to get more calm by the time I picked them up. He put Dips in the back seat, and we drove back to the hotel in silence. Once we had Dips in bed, Star took me by the arm and led me out of the bedroom into the lounge of the suite and closed the door.
Birch, we need to talk.
Look, I'm sorry I lost my temper. I just wasn't about to let anyone hurt Dips.
That's just it, Birch. You're the one hurting him.
What?
Birch, did you bother reading the contract you signed for us that got us into this contest?
No, but it was just standard boilerplate phrases.
Most of it, yes. But did you notice the part that says that the winner has to go on a year-long tour promoting the show?
It says that?
Yes, it does. Your drive to win this has exhausted him, Birch. It forced you to pull him out of school 1 day a week, then for an entire month, and it's going to drive you to pull him out for an entire year. You'd have to get him a tutor at that point, Birch. You know that.
I wasn't thinking. I just had to beat that.
And in your effort to defeat him, Birch, you become more and more like him every day.
Oh, no. You don't know what you're saying, Star.
I know exactly what I'm saying, Birch. You've been leaving clues right and left. Birch, please. I know this is going to be hard for you, but you have to trust me. I trusted you with the deepest pain in my heart, and you helped me. Now I want to help you, Birch, before it's too late. So tell me, when did you get molested and by whom?
How did you know?
The way you act around Dipper. So defensive, so protective. But you were never, ever alone with him. I asked at the recording studio, and they found that almost curious. You actually paid them to watch you both while you helped him with his homework. I've seen how you react around fans. Adults, you're relaxed, but younger teens? It's like you were walking on eggshells. Birch, you have to trust me. I know that you would never intentionally hurt Dipper or anyone else his age. I know that. I can see it. But you don't trust yourself. Please, trust me. I want to help you. So, go ahead. Bore me.
It was my karate teacher. I was 11. I just started taking lessons a month before. He always treated me special, like I was a great student. I have to admit that the attention did make me feel special, made me want to try harder. Then Then he asked me to stay afterwards for some private instructions. That's when it happened. He was never forceful, very loving, very caring, and I just let it happen. I didn't think anything of it other than he was treating me special. It was our little secret. This went on for another month. I looked forward to the lessons. Then we got a phone call telling us not to bother to come to the next lesson. He'd been arrested for possession of child porn. I was afraid to say anything. I thought I'd be arrested too. Once I realized I wouldn't be, utter shame kept me from telling anyone.
It's okay, Birch.
No, it isn't. You don't know the whole story. Please, you've got to believe me. I would never, ever hurt Dips. But you've got to hear me out. I can't keep it in any longer.
I do believe you, Birch. Please, go on.
I went through high school wondering if I was gay. Girls didn't interest me. My mind kept going back to my experience, reliving it. Then I noticed that the guys in my classes didn't interest me either. It was always middle school guys. Always them. I didn't think much of that as a freshman, but by the time I was a senior in high school, I knew there was something wrong. I was glad to get away to college, away from... Well, I hate to tell you, but I no sooner got to college when I saw the others there enjoying themselves, to put it mildly, and I indulged myself in any relationship I could. Girl, guy, it didn't matter to me. I was just searching for something, anything to distract me. But I always found myself searching the internet for pictures. I hated myself, Star, but nothing else interested me. I finally told myself, no more. And I threw myself on the one thing that I truly loved, music. I gave up all romantic interest, and I plunged myself headlong into my studies. I managed to graduate cum laude, and I started going to auditions. I was immediately snatched up by Grizz, who was forming a new group. I felt fulfilled at last. Yes, the desires came back every now and then, but I used that time to write a new song or to work on my technique. We made a few hit singles, and then we went on tour. We always got 2 hotel rooms, Stoughton Young in one and Grizz and I in the other. I don't know how he figured it out. Maybe he was reading the clues like you did, but one night I just showered and was about to get into bed when I found a picture lying on the bed. It was of a young fur, fully clothed. Grizz was already asleep or else faking it. I wondered why it was there. I set it aside, thinking it might be a picture I was supposed to autograph or something, and then went to sleep. The next night, there was a different picture there. I asked Grizz what it was for, and he simply said,
Good looking, ain't he?
What do you mean?
I mean, you think he looks good. I do too.
Somehow, the way he said it told me that he knew. I felt like a weight had been lifted from my shoulders. Somebody knew what I was going through.
Hey, it's okay. They're just pictures.
I let my guard down and admitted that I did like them. So he showed me more. Each one more suggestive. No shirts. Then bathing suits. Like he was feeling me out until
Until he brought out the porn.
Yes! Oh God, I hate myself for giving in, Star. I couldn't stop.
Each night he had more pictures and more pictures, and we...
Don't torture yourself, Birch. You don't have to say it. Go on past that. Why did you leave the group?
It was right after that disastrous recording session. Both Grizz and Stoat blamed me for the poor quality of it. One night on tour, after we sang it, Stoat said to the entire audience, "If only he had sung like that when we recorded it." I was humiliated. I took a long walk after the concert, not going back to the hotel room until much later. But when I got back, Grizz, he had a prostitute there.
Wait, you mean...
Yes! I turned and I ran. I left my luggage. I left everything in the room. And I never looked back.
It's okay, Bert.
No! No, it's not okay! I ran and left a child in the hands of that monster!
I expected Star to call the cops, to just get Dips and leave. But he didn't. He did the one thing I never expected. He hugged me. He just held me while I cried.
So that's why you reacted so strongly at the magazine article.
Star, you've got to believe me. I would never do anything like that to Dips. People don't understand. They love people like me even with monsters like Grizz. But I would never hurt anyone. I'm afraid to say anything. I don't know where to turn.
I do believe you, Birch. I've seen how you react around him. I know you would never do that to him. But Birch, you are hurting him. Your hatred of Grizz is driving you to become more like him every day.
No, please don't say that. It's not true.
Yes, it is, Birch. It's why I had to get the story out of you, to help you begin to heal before it was too late. Birch, one of the greatest truths in life is that we become what we think about, what we obsess over, because we spend so much of our time dwelling on it. That was true of music for you. You dwelt on it, you obsessed over it, and you became very, very good at it.
Well, thank you, but I don't see where...
And the unfortunate dark side is that we also become what we hate, because we dwell on it, we obsess over it. And even when we realize what is happening to us, we simply lie to ourselves and punish ourselves. You've been punishing yourself for too long, Birch. Don't start lying to yourself. You have to learn to forgive.
What? Forgive that monster?
Yes! Forgive your karate teacher, forgive Grizz, and forgive yourself, Birch. Your hatred is killing you. You've already defeated Grizz in the competition, and yet this past week you've been driving us as hard as ever to win it all. It's driving you to do things that are hurting the very people you don't want to hurt.
Tell it all, brother, before we fall. Tell it all, brothers and sisters. Tell it all.
How much you're holding back on me when you say you're giving all. And in the dungeons of your mind, who you got chained to the wall. Tell it all, brother, before we fall. Tell it all, brothers and sisters. Tell it all. plant your feet on higher ground, to avoid life's mud and stone. Did you ever kick a good man when he was down, just to make yourself feel strong? Tell it all, brother, before we fall. Tell it all, brothers and sisters. Tell it all. Tomorrow just might be too late. Now is the time to get your jumbled mind straight and seek a new design. Did you ever walk before a crippled man, pretending you were lame? And what made you think one feeble hymn to God was gonna make him call your name? Tell it all, brother, before we fall. Tell it all, brothers and sisters. Tell it all, brother, before we fall. Tell it all, brothers and sisters. Tell it all, brother, before we fall. Tell it all, brothers and sisters. Tell it all, brother, before we fall.